Hello, folks. So last week, my buddy Bob over on Bob Worldbuilder made a video about AI in D&D. And today we're going to take a look at that video. We're going to examine some of the points he made and some of the things I disagree with. And my cat Squirty Pie is along for the ride. And I will try to remember to put a link to this video down in the description for you, even though the title is literally on the screen and you could probably find it yourself. But I got yelled at in one of my previous videos because I didn't link all of them, so I'm going to do it for this one, unless I forget, and then you can yell at me. I should probably forget to do it on purpose so you can yell at me in the comments, because engagement, stupid YouTube, the things we do for YouTube, ugh. All right, anyway, Bob's video, here we go. Let's go, Bob.
How do you think AI will end up changing Dungeons and Dragons?
It's already changing Dungeons and Dragons. It's going to, I think like in a couple years, it's going to be a radically different game. I think probably every dungeon master, except for those who think AI is making the oceans boil, almost every dungeon master is probably going to be using AI to some extent or another. Even if they don't think they are, they probably will, because it's going to be integrated into all online tools. So it's going to change things dramatically. Is it going to replace dungeon masters? That's definitely on the horizon, but perhaps not in the next couple years, maybe next 5 years, possibly.
Seriously, no rage bait, no judgment, not even a lot of fancy editing here because I'm losing daylight and it's cold. I want to know, what do you think this will look like?
So he actually did some fancy editing later on in this video. I listened to this video yesterday when I was at the gym, which is why I'm doing the video today, because I was like, he made some good points. But there is some really cool editing in this video, so I don't think he gives himself enough credit.
No one knows exactly when artificial intelligence will enable these new ways to play and run.
It's already happening. It's literally already happening. Like, there are companies and sites out there where you can use AI, integrate it into your game. Most game masters are already using AI like ChatGPT or Gemini during their game sessions to augment their game mastering and to improve their game sessions. So it's already happening. So we know when. Now is when. It's already happening.
D&D, but we did get some new clear quotes from the CEO, once again stating it is only a matter of when, not if.
Right, because he's not dumb. Like, he realizes that the entire world is going to be embracing AI, and it is going to become the backbone of businesses, companies, like everything that we do. And he is not a dumb person, and I don't even know who he is, but he realizes that if you don't get on board with it and you don't embrace it and you don't integrate it in some way into what you're doing as a company, then you will miss the boat and you will be left behind, and somebody else will take your spot in the forefront. So he's trying to do his best to make sure his company doesn't, like, you know, what do they call it? Crash and burn.
Did you see this? It's actually from March, but I missed it at the time. Describing himself as an AI bull who believes the technology will extend the reach of Hasbro's brands. That could include subscription services, letting other dungeon masters enrich their D&D campaigns, or offerings to let parents customize Peppa Pig animations.
I have no idea what Peppa Pig is. If you know what it is, just scream at me in the comments because I'm an ignorant idiot. But so check this out. I already use ChatGPT to enrich my dungeon mastering. Every single game I run, I use it to some extent or another to help me prepare for my games, to help me run my games. But the one big failing that ChatGPT has right now is mechanics. It cannot properly integrate D&D mechanics or Pathfinder 2 mechanics or Shadowdark mechanics. Like, mechanics, it can't get those right. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, possibly, but it can't get mechanics right. I would definitely pay for a subscription service that would integrate the narrative storytelling, brainstorming capabilities of AI and combine it with the ability to integrate mechanics. So I could tell it, hey, I need an encounter that's balanced for this level of a group that features these type of bad guys, and it would find the monsters, the creatures, it would put them in the proper proportion of them, and it would calculate the difficulty challenge and everything and be like, boom, here you go. Like, that would increase or decrease prep time amazingly. And when you're running a game and you on the fly need an encounter because the group decided to go to this forest over here and you hadn't prepared it, like, you don't have to scramble, find the monsters, prepare the encounter, all this stuff, or just wing it and hope that you get the difficulty about right. Like the AI would just do it in a heartbeat. Like, I would 100% pay for something that does that for me, because I know the time savings it would give me in preparing for my games and how much better it would make my games as I run them on the fly.
So sure, we've seen a lot of fear-mongering about D&D subscription services over the last few years. It's actually the Peppa Pig stuff, the latter half of that quote about customized animations, that should be drawing your attention. Just a couple weeks ago, and you definitely saw this major development in AI video, where now anyone can create even hyper-realistic videos of themselves or other real people with only a short prompt. That's insane, and ignoring the morality of using.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Generally speaking, folks, we're going to ignore the morality issues of AI in this video. That's not the point. Folks can opine down in the comments. You're welcome to do that. We're not gonna talk about the morality of it. That's a different topic. We're gonna talk about what is and where things are going. We're just gonna talk about facts, as opposed to whether it is good or bad, or whether it's boiling the oceans away, or whatever it is. So we're gonna be ignoring the morality of this. And I really hope Bob is gonna talk about what Peppa Pig is, because I still don't know what that is. I should probably Google it. I should have done that before I reacted, I suppose. But I think it totally makes sense that they're going to allow you to make short videos and shorts with AI, because right now the way YouTube seems to be going is YouTube is more and more promoting, let's just call it trash content. They really are giving you all of the tools such as AI videos, thumbnails, title generators, and all this stuff in order for you to be able to produce content faster and put out more and more content. Now, whether it's trash content, maybe, right? But taking so long to create a video or content, only releasing maybe one video a week or a couple of shorts a week, that doesn't satisfy the YouTube the algorithm these days. And it really seems like they're going a direction where they want you to just push out as much content as possible. And a lot of it might be, most of it's trash and most of it falls flat, but some of it's going to actually take off. And so I think that the person who creates more and more content, sometimes a video is going to take off. So in order to push out more content and do more, you either need a larger team to do that, which most people don't have, or you need AI to assist you and to be able to create some of this content. So the fact that YouTube is definitely incentivizing and rewarding that behavior of just pushing out tons of content, it makes sense that they would also be giving you the tools to do so. Or maybe not YouTube themselves, but definitely other companies out there are giving creators the tools to be able to do this.
Using a tool like that, ignoring whether it'll take 2 years or 10 years for this to trickle into D&D, and ignoring whether this might destroy or save Dungeons and Dragons, because who knows. I just want to lay out 3 predictions for what.
It's not going to destroy Dungeons and Dragons. It might destroy the Dungeons and Dragons you personally love or you care about, but it can't really destroy it, because you'll always have the books. If you bought the books, if you have D&D Beyond, you might not always have that. But if you have the books, you're always going to have the game you want. They can't destroy your game. They can't. They can't take your game away from you. And some of you like the direction that D&D is going. Well, then they're not destroying it for you. They're making it better for you. So I feel like as long as you have the books and you can play the game you want to play with your friends, or your, if you're playing online with Start Playing or something like that, then I feel like they can't really destroy the game for you. They might take it in a direction you don't like. Well, then you just decide not to participate in that. You decide to do what you want to do.
But the inevitable influence of AI might look like 3 ways. Right here on D&D YouTube, then at game tables like yours and mine, and finally at tables around the world. Because I'm Bob, this is where we learn how to have more fun playing RPGs together. And before we get into it, this video is sponsored by Display.
We got to get off from that. We don't want to watch. But this is beautiful because it tells us exactly where to skip over. And skip right over the ad. Right there. Oh, wow. Right there. Oops, almost. Almost. There we go. All right, here we go.
Right?
Like, who doesn't do this? You tell me who doesn't just scrub right over all ads in videos? Unless you're like autoplay, listening on your phone or at work or something, and then you're exposed to it, right?
Action number 1.
By the way, ads generally, I should probably not say this. This is the stuff I get in trouble. influencer ad spots tend not to perform very well. Companies tend to not get bang for buck for them. So I don't know how much longer YouTubers are going to be getting companies like ad spot offers and sponsorships from companies, because I have not seen them perform very well for me when I've used them. And I also haven't, I don't think that when people pay me to do ad spots for them, it performs very well for them. So I don't know that we YouTubers are going to be getting sponsorships for too much longer, but I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? But anyway, on with the show.
One, focusing on D&D YouTube, I think we're going to see a lot more new dungeon tubers using AI to enrich their content.
100%.
And to be clear, the tech discussed in this prediction will carry over to the AI Dungeon Master prediction. So listen up. As a YouTube viewer, this might seem far-fetched. Like, sure, I see AI thumbnails once in a while, maybe. But dude, you have no idea how badly YouTube wants me and every creator to use AI. Got a question? Don't reach out to it.
I mean, I already talked about that. They're definitely promoting it and incentivizing it and stuff. And I think the biggest reason you don't see a lot of AI thumbnails, at least in the D&D TTRPG niche, is because this industry despises AI for the most part, especially AI artwork. And so you're not going to see a whole lot of that because people who are wise know that is the case, and so they don't use it in their thumbnails. If you go outside of the D&D niche, you increasingly see AI artwork thumbnails. Definitely, I see it in a lot of stuff that I watch. All right, people are definitely beginning to use it. Now, I think it's going to be in the D&D niche, it's going to be a long time before that starts to happen and become more commonplace, I think, because people don't want to get canceled and stuff for doing it, because it's like everything could bomb right now if you decide to start. In fact, I had one of my friends, one of my YouTuber friends that I like a lot. I'm not going to tell you what his name is, but there was a video that he put out, a video, I think it was about 3 to 6 months ago, and now the beautiful thing is, what you can tell here, check this out. There is this tool called vidIQ that you can plug in. It has a Chrome extension, and it will it'll show you all of their thumbnails. Like Bob right here, he's had 3 different versions of a thumbnail that he's tried in this video. He's using the A/B testing in Google. So these are the 3 different versions. Now this is the version I was served. I was served this one, and that face right there looks like it was AI created. So he used AI generated right there for that. And I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter to me, but it definitely is. But this is what I was served right here. And then this right here looks like stock to me. That looks like stock artwork to me, and a little bit of Photoshop. And then this is just stock artwork right here. But I was served this one right here. So vidIQ will tell you all the different thumbnails somebody has used. And my friend, not Bob's my friend too, but my other friend, he put up a video about 3 to 6 months ago that had AI artwork as the thumbnail. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, he's got some cojones right there, right? Because he's like using AI artwork, and then the craziest thing happened, like not too long after, it was suddenly gone, and he had replaced it with one of his standard thumbnails. And I saw that and I was like, either he was A/B testing, I just didn't notice it at the time, or he got some crazy pushback, right, about how dare you, right? And then he changed it out because to avoid the controversy and fallout and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the point is, there's a reason you don't see people using AI thumbnails in the D&D niche, but outside of it, increasingly more so. Absolutely.
To a fellow human who might have had the same problem, just use one of our 2 AI chatbots. So as a test, I asked both of them.
Hold on a second. I didn't even know this existed. So I have my little content studio thing up here. Where was he at? Let me just scrub a little bit. Channel content and videos. Okay, let's go over here. Let's take a look at mine. This is my content, my videos. Yay, look at this. All my videos are bombing. Whee! Okay, whatever. Up here, so I have chat with creator support. What is this? That's an error. The requested URL was not found on this server. That's all we know. Okay, that's not working. What about this one? That looks like Gemini or something. Ask Studio. Hello, the DM Nair. Nice to meet you. Hello, I'm Ask Studio, your creative partner. I can help you with your channel and video analytics. Da, 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 da. How can it help me? Okay, excellent. Let's just ask it a question. Why do my views suck? Just a second. It's gonna give me some horse crap. Watch this. Because you're not like, your audience doesn't want to watch your content anymore. Come on. Oh, just a second. This is longer than a second. Oh, come on. I understand you're frustrated, and that feeling is valid. When views dip, it can be hard to figure out why. You don't need to don't pat me on the head. I've analyzed your channel's performance over the last 90 days, compared to the previous 90 days, and I have found the core issues. Oh. The biggest factor driving your views down is a drop in how often your content is being shown to viewers. Really? So it's not being promoted and pushed out to them. Okay. The current performance snapshot. Duh. Come on. Your views decreased 23.6% over the last 90 days. Here's the breakdown of the key metrics. Views, everything's down. Got it. Why your views are down. The data clearly points to an issue with reach, impressions, rather than the quality of your content. Oh, I don't know. I've been putting out some trash content just for kicks. But anyway, a significant drop in impressions. Yep. Okay, impressions are down. Strong and stable. Your click-through rate remains consistent at 4.2%. So my click-through rate's good. It's just not getting pushed out to more people. Okay, got it. The audience gap, excluding the last 2 days. Returning viewers down. New viewers were also down. Got it. Actionable steps. That's really all I care about. Okay. I guess I didn't. Well, whatever. Actionable steps. Re-engage your returning viewers. Verify your content to broaden reach. It's just giving me some stuff. So, okay. It's not really super helpful. Okay. But anyway, point is, there's the AI. Bob, you're right. Okay. Let's go back to Bob. Where's Bob? Continue, Bob.
AI chatbots. So, as a test, I asked both of them the same simple question every creator wants the answer to. How can I better connect with people through my videos on YouTube? The old bot took a couple seconds.
What does that mean? How can I better connect with people? I don't even know what that means. So I'm interested to see what this bot is going to tell you. Does that mean you want more views? Does that mean you want more engagement, people leaving comments? Does that mean you want to have more conversations with them, and that's the human connection you're trying to get? So I'm not sure what that means, connect with people. I just don't understand that prompt at all. So this will be great.
Generic answer. There are a few different ways to connect with your audience through YouTube: videos, live streams, and shorts. Never would have thought to make content. Nah, but the full response describes each one, links to an article, and offers help to decide which format is right for your style that could be helpful to a new creator. The new bot, however, opened with telltale modern AI glazing. That is a fantastic question, and it's key to sustainable channel growth. It must have pulled my data too, because it referenced channels my audience likes, but gave equally basic advice, just in many, many more words flavored to the D&D niche. But hey, you know how hard it is to just think for your...
Did you guys see how many words it gave me? Like all of this stuff here, all of this like blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like, and it could have just told me, Luke, you suck, dude. Nobody's watching your crap. Make better crap. Oh, your thumbnails suck. Get better thumbnails. Oh, your titles suck. Get better titles. Oh, all right. How do I do that? Here's some resources to where you can learn how to make better content, better titles, better thumbnails. But no, it's kind of like, okay, anyway. By the way, I don't really care. I am primarily a publisher at this point. You know, my business is a publishing business. The YouTube stuff is, at this point, I do it just for kicks. So whatever.
Yourself. Let YouTube do that for you with the inspiration tab. Check it out. It automatically outlines entire videos. And apparently these suggestions are inspired by my channel. I'll let regular viewers decide.
I've used this. I used this once because I was clicking around on it, and it recommended. So check this out. The video that it recommended to me, I actually did it, and it did really well. Let's take what was it? Okay, you can go away. Goodbye. So it was, I made a video. Where was it? I think it was this video right here. I made a video about the mistakes in campaign 3 of Critical Role, And this was suggested to me. This video idea was suggested to me by that inspiration thing. I think that was the video. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And then I had my buddy Ed go do a bunch of research on that so that I could actually talk about it, because I don't watch Critical Role. I tried, but they have an F-bomb in every other sentence. And like, I'm sorry, I don't want to listen to that kind of content. So my buddy Ed gave me like a summary of like, you know, some of the things he thought. And then I made a video on it. And if I remember correctly, that video didn't do too badly. Where was that video again? Where? Oh gosh, here it is. It got 34,000 views. It's had time to bake, obviously. But if you look at the rest of my views, that's way more than almost anything else. So yeah, that was a pretty good idea. I should probably use this inspiration tab a little bit more if I wanted to get better views, which I think is what engaging with viewers actually means. I don't know. I still don't know what that means.
Does that sound like me? The unconventional anti-tank D&D build?
What is that?
Yeah, hey, D&D Shorts. So YouTube wants me to just like be your channel now. That's cool, right? And if we click this, it literally scripts multiple video hooks and outlines to choose from with a button to...
It does a great job of giving you ideas and stuff like that. It's just one step away from writing the entire script for you. Which you can literally get AI to do for you. You can have it write the entire script for a video for you. You could, if you wanted to, so you guys know that there are D&D channels out there that will tell you, like, it's usually a tier ranking or something, and they're like, here's a tier ranking of the best tier like classes in this new module or this new splat book that came out. And then the video is like 40 minutes long. So if you want to listen to their tier ranking, you have to listen to a 40-minute long video, which is crazy. So you can literally take that URL from that video, paste it into AI, and because YouTube auto-generates captions, the AI will scrape that video of the captions, get all of the information they shared, and it will summarize it for you in like a few paragraphs and tell you exactly what the ranking is. You know what I mean? So you don't have to watch a 40-minute video. There are Chrome plugin extensions that you can get, you know, that will summarize videos so you don't have to watch them, right? And so like my point is that like you don't even need to do anything at this point. You could literally go out and research other channels and what the videos they're doing are, and if you see a good idea for a video, you could scrape the information out of that video, you could throw it into AI and have it create a title for you, create the script for you, and then you could have it create a thumbnail for you if you wanted to. And shoot, you don't even have to do, I mean, if you're going to do a talking head sort of thing, then you got to film it and talk and stuff. But if you wanted to get a voiceover, you could have AI do a voiceover. I tried that once and it was really bad, so maybe I don't know what I'm doing. And then you could probably just use like AI generated stinking images for like all of your B-roll and stuff if you wanted to. And then what you could do is take a 40-minute video and turn it into probably 5 minutes or under, you know what I mean? And just crack that sucker out. And then you could probably just do that. That could be your entire YouTube channel just based upon that. So what I'm saying is that the AI tools exist to do this now. Absolutely exist 100% to do this now.
Copy.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but I'm just saying.
You paste that text and it generates multiple AI thumbnails. I'd even say this one is pretty great for a creator who doesn't want to put their own face on a thumbnail. That's all happening.
I gotta tell you, like, I suck at thumbnails, and if I didn't want to get canceled, I'd probably be like, yeah, whatever, screw it, we'll just use some of these, because that stuff's way better than I can possibly do, you know. And I'm not gonna pay somebody to make a thumbnail for me. That's bonkers. I would never do that. So I just create my own crappy thumbnails. But those AI ones, they look a lot better than what I can make, that's for sure.
Today. So, of course, more and more new YouTube creators, DungeonTube and elsewhere, are going to use the built-in features of the platform, which will probably get better at writing.
Did you see he said DungeonTube? That's from Professor DM. That's DungeonCraft. I think that's the term I think he originated the term DungeonTube. At least I heard it first from him. And I know Bob and Professor, we're all friends and stuff. We know each other. So that's probably where he took it from. But I just think that's interesting. So Professor has begun like the naming DungeonTubers.
Scripts and making thumbnails for videos people actually want to watch. Or, even if quality does not improve there, someone could generate 50 scripts and thumbnails in the time it takes me to make one.
Yes.
And just statistically,
Yes.
I bet at least one of those 50
Yes.
is gonna be better than mine.
Yes.
They won't get the plane sounds though.
Yes, they can. AI can generate plane sounds, dude. Or you could just go out and get like, you know, stock plane sounds. So, but anyway, this is like the stamp of authenticity, the background noises that your camera picks up.
They'll never get the plane sounds. And this is a bit subjective, but I think those videos will be better with YouTube's newest AI tool to generate video. So this is not the...
Yeah, I made this point before, but if you can crack out like a bunch of slop videos at a super rapid pace, some of those are going to perform and then are going to resonate with people, you know, and then you're probably going to beat the person who only does one video a week because he's doing it, you know, the real human way without augmenting his productivity with AI. And then the person who's augmenting is going to outperform the person who's not augmenting, you know. And so, yeah, I think you're totally right, Bob.
Same tool I mentioned earlier that uses your face, but it still blew my mind when I saw this because it's already built right into YouTube, and we're going to do this in real time to show you how much or how little effort is required. So here we go. We're in the YouTube app to create a short. I hit this down arrow. I hit green screen. I hit this little create. Oh, that's actually kind of weird. And then now right here, try something like aerial view of Manhattan at night. But all we have to do is type in a prompt. Let's just say dragon flying out of a cave. I don't know. Create. Oh, I didn't even hit to choose a style, so I guess it'll just automatically figure that out for us, because why not figure out everything else for us? And again, this is in real time.
Yep.
Looks like AI art for sure, but hey, I mean, some of those results look kind of cool. Let's try that blue one. Create video. Loading. And again, I'm outside here, like I'm not on Wi-Fi or whatever, so this might take a little bit longer than it would actually
he's got
if you're
5G.
just indoors churning out a bunch of these. Let's see. Couple seconds to go, probably.
I actually don't think it's not processing the video creation on the user side. It's doing that on servers and stuff. So the video processing has nothing to do with your Wi-Fi connection at all. That's going to be completely on YouTube servers and stuff. But anyway.
Probably. Oh, and are we done? Yeah. So there's our blue dragon flying.
Look at that.
That actually looks pretty
in.
cool.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It like
zooming in, the wings are flapping. It took him a minute to generate that. Now imagine you can make your entire video doing this. You're making long form content with this sort of thing. You know, you have talking heads and stuff. You can have like, you know, anime or cartoon talking heads or something, background and everything, videos that demonstrate your points, B-roll and everything. Like once they get to the point where you can easily do that, you know what I mean? And people have learned how to do the proper prompts and do that, man, you can make a production machine, content production machine.
it looks good. So if it only takes, what was that, 2 minutes to make one decent clip of fantasy footage, we're definitely going to see creators using clips like this to play over narration, to break up talking head videos, and potentially as bespoke animated shorts when the tools become more refined. And again, even if quality somehow does not improve,
the thing is that quality is improving exponentially. It's an exponential curve of improvement. If you look at where AI was a year ago, like it's not a linear, it's exponentially getting better. It is remarkable. And so you're going to have quantity, but you're also going to have quality. This is going to get better and better and better. Like a year ago, 2 years ago, when I was playing around with just AI artwork to kind of see what it was able to do, it's obvious it's AI artwork. It's like, nah, this is, you can tell, man. Now you do it and it's like, whoa, like you could probably, I can't tell, but people who can tell, but it's getting really good. It's an exponential curve of quality improvement. It's bonkers.
Sheer quantity will probably make up for it, but on average, you know, real note, short animated videos can get way more views than videos like this, especially with very simple editing. So in order to compete on the platform, all creators, but especially new ones, will be pushed, encouraged to use tools like this.
I totally agree. And he made a really good point. Short animated videos can do really well. I had my mind blown the other day. Check this out. So you guys know Puffin Forest, right? Oh, this is the wrong one. Hold on. Go back to YouTube. Go to Puffin Forest. I had my mind blown Puffin Forest the other day because he doesn't do videos anymore. I was like, what happened? What happened to my boy Puffin Forest, man, doing videos? I didn't know him in real life or anything, but it's like over a year ago. I'm like, what happened? Where did he go? And like, he disappeared. Nobody knows what happened to him. Well, I think I know what happened to him. This is a lot of work. His videos were crazy difficult to animate all of this stuff. It takes tons of time. And not only does it take tons of time, but his are all story based. You have to come up with a cool story that's going to interest people. That's hard creativity wise, you know, and then you have to animate it and stuff. Oh my gosh, the work. Oh man. So yeah, I think he probably just burned out and he's like, we're done with this, baby. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. Thank you. Goodbye. So, I mean, that's my theory, but you know, he didn't tell us anything. There's literally no information available about what happened. So, but this is just an example of like, yes, animated stuff can do really well, but it's tons of work. But if you got AI doing it for you, the work evaporates to a certain extent. Well, I mean, your work is like way lower than before. Quality might be worse, sure, for now, but eventually it won't be, you know, and the amount of effort required is like fractional, right? Fractional.
To create their scripts, their thumbnails, even their footage.
Yeah.
And okay, here comes a little judgment. I do think it's a bad thing for a platform called YouTube to reward creators who don't actually create their own videos. Like this video if you agree. Okay.
Seinfeld. Good one. So it doesn't matter what the platform is called. Who cares if it's called YouTube? They could change that if they wanted to. The fact is, the platform has been steadily evolving since it began. Well, when did it begin? 2008 or something like that? I think is when it came about, and it was really like unrefined and whatever. And now it's just steadily getting more and more professional and high quality. So the whole platform has been, you know, changing over the years. So you could make that same argument 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and say, oh, it's no longer YouTube. Now it's becoming all commercialized and stuff. So I don't buy that argument or whatever. Who cares what the name is? They could change the name and call it AI Tube or whatever, you know? It is what it is. It's one of those cases of it is what it is. This is the way things are going, you know, and if you don't like it, that's fair. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But this is the way it's going, whether that's unfortunate or whether you don't care, but it's like, it is what it is. So at that point, it's kind of like, wow, you know, am I just going to die and go to the way of the dinosaur? Or am I going to jump on board with this? Am I going to protest? Or I don't know. You know what I mean? And everyone's going to have a different response to that. But things are definitely trending this way, 100% trending this way for very obvious reasons.
Okay, prediction 2, focusing on how AI will come to influence D&D gameplay, or as I'm summarizing it, the AI Dungeon Master phenomenon. And this comes from two directions, right? We got top down from D&D or their parent company Hasbro, and bottom up from AI tools becoming ubiquitous in our daily lives. Like, here's a tangent that
They are completely ubiquitous. Like, I want to say every game master I know that I've talked to about this uses AI tools in one way or another. One way or another, they're using them in their games. Whether it's something as obvious as ChatGPT or whether it's something that integrates already or something, but like, now obviously I play games with people and I haven't talked to everybody I know about this, right? But the ones that I have brought it up with, you know, that I feel a level of trust and comfort with, because this is a shaky topic for a lot of people. People get really upset about this, and you're probably going to see that in the comments today. But most people I know, I think everybody I've talked to uses it in one way or another, and they've tried it. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's already safe to say that it is ubiquitous. It's not becoming ubiquitous. It completely is.
I promise will reconnect to AI DMs. I recently set up my own web store in a probably too late attempt to future-proof my business off YouTube, but I had no idea what I was doing. I don't know anything about web design, and worse, I didn't know anything about the bureaucratic intricacies of registering with my state or other states or other countries to collect and remit sales tax on digital goods. Yeah, not something they teach you at YouTube school.
No, it sucks. Small businesses that sell around the world online, it is a nightmare to navigate all of those intricacies. A nightmare, a nightmare. The fortunate thing is that digital goods usually you don't have to worry about them too much. So that's the fortunate thing. But once you get into hardcovers and physical stuff, then it gets, oh man, I literally pay a company almost $100 a month to handle my VAT taxes for the United Kingdom. That's it. Just Britain. I have to pay them almost $100 a month to take care of that, because like, I don't really know how to do that stuff. And so I'm just going to pay them to take care of it, and I'll know that it's done. And I think that's a crazy amount to charge me for what they do, but what am I going to do? You know what I mean? And so all of these, yeah, it's a quagmire. Let's just leave it at that.
Cool. And so the website builder's chatbot, I guess an AI tool, was actually a huge help. And yeah, then once I was feeling confident, I was able to confirm those details with my creator friends who already do this stuff and with my accountant without taking up a ton of their time. But believe me, a couple years ago, I paid a human being over $1,000 to build me a simple web store, and it turned out to be a waste of money because that site...
I've done that before too, and it didn't work. And I just decommissioned it, and then I built it in Shopify instead.
Had issues.
I still paid that person to build it in Shopify, but at least now it's maintainable.
I didn't know how to fix, and worse, the human left me with an incorrect, or I guess I could say incomplete understanding of sales tax. So this dang...
Look, even accountants can't sometimes navigate like the intricacies of sales tax in all these different countries and stuff when you sell worldwide. Like, it is not easy, like a lot of times, like I once asked my accountant, like, what do I do for all of this? And he's like, I would get a Shopify plugin that does it for you. It'll automatically do all that stuff for you. And I'm just like, oh, jeez.
AI chat.
That's how complex it is. He's like, get a plugin, get AI to do it, get a tool to do it. It's too hard.
Bot saved me from unknowingly committing tax fraud. And for real, if anything I've ever made has been valuable to you, please join my website's email list through the link below. Not going to spam you. It's just to ensure I can actually notify you maybe once a month, probably a lot less, just when I'm publishing something cool off of YouTube, because this site really is no longer reliable for reaching one's own subscribers, at least for me. Speaking of...
Yeah, oh, that's true. We just looked at my analytics. It's like, you have a great click-through rate, but your content's not getting pushed out to people. Who's not pushing it out to people so that they could see it and click on it? Maybe it's not me. So yeah, I agree with Bob there.
AI chatbots, D&D, or at least the Hasbro CEO, really wants you to use AI to generate D&D content, to learn how to play the game, and to run your game. Here's more quotes about how much they want you to use AI, but this last one really spells it out. Using AI to enable user-generated content, using AI to streamline new player introduction, using AI for emergent storytelling. Yeah. That's the DM. Yeah. I think you're going to see that not just with our hardcore brands like D&D, but also with multiple of our brands. Weird phrasing. So here is how I...
With multiple of our brands. Yeah. So this last part, totally right. I literally have, so my wife and I like to go travel to the casinos, okay? And I play craps, she plays slots, and I take breaks. You got to take breaks. You can't just sit there all day and just roll dice, right? And so like, especially if you're losing. And so the last time we went, like a few days ago, last week, I don't know. The last time we went, I was taking a break, and I just pulled out my phone and I got on ChatGPT and I was like, run me a TTRPG. And I literally had ChatGPT, it is running me a TTRPG where I'm basically a paladin. I have an order of other knights and acolytes and initiates and disciples and stuff, and I'm literally I am playing right now, and I still almost at least once a day I pull this thing out and I'm playing it because it's really cool. I'm having fun doing it. And It is literally running a D&D game for me without mechanics, but it's doing all that stuff for me, and it's a lot of fun and it's really cool, you know. And so it's already doing that. It's already doing it, and it's doing a really good job in my opinion. It just doesn't have the mechanics down, right? And so this whole idea of like AI being able to be the DM, like it's already here to an extent. It's just missing some integral things to make it actually like use the mechanics of D&D. You know what I mean? And I'm obviously using just ChatGPT as opposed to an AI tool that was specifically developed to be a dungeon master. Once we have that, your minds are going to be blown. I think your minds are going to be blown.
See this playing out. Step 1, D&D Beyond adds a chatbot to answer player and DM questions about D&D rules, and let's be honest, people are going to love that chatbot because it's currently pretty challenging to search for specific details on the website.
Yeah.
Step 2, the chatbot gets creative. Now DMs can ask it to generate simple things like a list of names for NPCs, names for locations, items, monsters, maybe pulling from existing D&D material.
You can already do that very easily with AI. Even non-DI specific AI, as long as you train it properly, you can already do that. It's super easy.
Or just generating new fantasy names based on that library of material.
Easy.
Meanwhile, players will use it to suggest names for their own new characters and suggest things like a list of spells that best fit a...
I've literally done that before. Like I was running, I don't know which game it was, but like I needed to give like a handful of spell scrolls to the group as part of their loot. And I was like, oh no, crap. Give me a list of spells. Give me a list of 5 spells between levels 1 and 2 from D&D or whatever the game system was. I can't remember. And ChatGPT spit it out. Boom, boom, boom. I used my brain. I checked them over. Yep, those are all level 1 and 2 spells. Okay, guys, these are the spell scrolls you find. And it was like that. As opposed to me opening a book and picking them and finding them, it just gave me them, boom, just like that. So this is already absolutely can do this right now.
A certain aesthetic for their character, so they don't have to pore through the book and do that.
Yeah.
Step 3, the chatbot gets technical. With voice or text, the DM can ask, hey, can you outline a medium difficulty combat encounter featuring hobgoblins for my session tonight?
This is what we're missing right now. We don't have this piece of the puzzle yet. I suspect we will have this very soon. Very soon. Like I get messages from companies that are developing AI stuff for game mastering, for dungeon mastering all the time. And this is the puzzle piece we are missing to integrate the AI's ability to use the actual game mechanics and do it right and do it properly to help in this way. Once it can do this, oh, the world has changed. So this is the missing piece right here.
And since it'll have access to all your character sheets, maybe it can even account for finer details like the magic items at your party's disposal, and it'll make that encounter in seconds.
Yes.
Now look, I'm not promising this is gonna like be functional or reliable when it launches. In fact, I bet it'll be garbage at first, and it won't even be D&D. It'll be some third-party companies making this stuff first.
Oh, 100%. It's going, like he's about to say this, but it's going to be a third party. They're going to do the exact same thing they did with D&D Beyond. I 100% agree with you, Bob. It's going to be a third party that develops this and gets it fine-tuned and stuff and iterates on it and stuff and develops it. And then D&D is going to come in and they're going to buy it from them. And then those people are going to make a bunch of money and they're going to be happy, right? So that is 100% what is going to happen eventually.
And then D&D has to chase them and eventually buy them out like they did with D&D Beyond. For example, I remember shortly after the initial rise of ChatGPT, I got 2 or 3 offers from different sponsors. I'm talking brand new, tiny companies of a couple dudes each who had independently created subscription services that allowed you to record your session audio, then automatically transcribe it and summarize it into a session recap. But that's not all. You don't even have to read the recap, because then it would create a simple video of that text box with an actor's voice reading the summary over ambient music. And according to users, these tools were actually good at separating in-game talk from out-of-game talk, even distinguishing between player voices to know which characters did what.
And that's an example of the type of tool that not only game masters but players find invaluable, because I do like recaps. I do recaps at the beginning of my games, and it is amazing how often players don't remember what happened a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And so they would get tons of value out of having a tool like that can just tell them, oh, this is what happened, and refresh their memories, for those that don't take, notes and stuff like that. All right, continuing.
And that was 3 years ago, man. So D&D doesn't have that yet. Maybe they're working on something like their own version for it. Who knows? But what that means is someone else is already working on a tool to take that session summary, that AI-generated session summary, and convert it to a couple dozen prompts to generate video clips like we just saw YouTube can already do, and then splice them together into an animated recap of your D&D session. I don't care if that sounds crazy, because all the pieces to do it already exist. Step 5.
Right. You just need to link it all together to reduce the effort and friction required from people to do that. Once you can just upload it and it just kind of like pops it through all the steps automatically and just does it. Yes. That's the day that YouTube becomes just stuffed with we'll just call it trash content.
5. AI becomes the Dungeon Master. Maybe it's trained on thousands of hours of Critical Role, Dimension 20, or literally any other actual play show, because they're all posted online and everything on the internet can be scraped by AI without any consequences. But maybe it doesn't.
Without any consequences. Well, human beings do that all the time too, without any consequences. So I don't understand why we draw the distinction between AI doing it and human beings scraping it and using it for their own purposes. Like there are lots of game masters who have looked at Dimension 20 or Critical Role and learned things about how to improve their games and stuff. And so they've scraped that information and learned from it and become better. And we don't speak about consequences for them. So I'm not sure about the morality of this, right? I think we promised not to talk about morality in this video, so we should probably just move on.
Need that, because unlike current AI models, this future one might be capable of maintaining a cohesive story and generating challenges instead of just praising players every time they ask it a question.
Yes. That is the annoying thing about AI. It will always just praise you and say you're the best. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know I'm not the best, dude. You don't got to like pat me on the head and give me a treat. Attaboy. Yeah, that's really annoying. I should train my AI to just be like, you know what? Treat me like a normal person. Sometimes be mean to me.
Every player gets to run a player character because they can all talk to the bot as the Dungeon Master. And it really doesn't change D&D much. You can still invite all your friends over for the night, but instead of sitting around a table, this is a tangent, but my wife was telling me about this thing where there are people, and it might not be in the US, might be different countries that are really into the AI stuff, but she said that there are people who are marrying AI bots and stuff like that. And they're literally getting married with them and stuff. And it's like, holy crap. I mean, if you had a robot that like acted like a real human and talked to you and always praised you and always did what you said and always thought you were the best and stuff, it's like, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy fantasy world, right? But geez. Anyway, I don't know what to say about that. It just reminded me of that conversation I had with her, which is bonkers. Feel kind of like a movie night or playing those Jackbox games, if you know what that is, where you're all just sitting in front of the television because the DM is on your TV. Or hey, maybe you already have one of those fancy game tables with a TV in the middle, so you're ahead of the curve. But then you choose your DM avatar, like probably the old cartoon Dungeon Master will be an option. We got Dristoord and we got Asterion for Baldur's Gate. Or you upload the likeness of your favorite internet Dungeon Master. Remember, the technology to generate AI video of real people.
Who's going to have Bob as their AI Dungeon Master? He's just like, yeah, Bob's my Dungeon Master, baby. Let's go.
Already exists, and some AI can already mimic voices pretty well. So this future DM can instantly switch between thousands of NPC character voices, instantly generate images of a scene, produce sound effects, play music, and even animate video of a scene in your game only moments after it plays out. All these pieces already exist. They need a lot of refining, and then they need someone or something smart enough to create an app that puts it all together. The question is, will people use it?
Yes, they will use it. Okay, so first of all, there will be lots of outrage and posting about how this is ruining the game and destroying our world, you know, and the planet's going to burn because of this and all this stuff. But the majority of people are absolutely going to play around with it, and they're going to be using it, and they're going to be like, this is amazing. Holy crap. Yes, people are going to use it. People are going to use it. Okay. There's no doubt about it. Like, the internet might burn and people might have their torches and pitchforks and stuff, and they'll talk about the ocean boiling away and all of this type of stuff. 100%, there will be outrage from the vocal minority on the internet or whatever, but the average person will just be like, wow, this is a really cool tool, and it's like $10 a month. Here's my credit card. Yeah, so the people who do this are they're gonna be making some money.
The final prediction, number 3, focusing on the popularity of these AI changes to Dungeons and Dragons. This might sound cold, but if your main point against any of this happening is that human connection is what makes D&D special, you are not wrong, but that's also not enough to stop an overwhelming majority of people from choosing the shiny new tech. And I can prove that with 2 examples. Humans have been making...
I 100% agree, because if you just look at a simple thing that's going on right now, you have playing D&D in person and you have playing D&D online. I do both, all right? I have one game that's in person and my other 4 games are online. All right. And I can tell you, I like both. I love playing in person. I love playing online. Online is extremely convenient and a lot less prep work for me to actually run the game. Playing in person takes a lot more time on more effort on my end. Pros and cons of each. Playing in person has a lot more human connection. There's a lot more there. And you could argue that it might be more fun. Although I am really having lots of fun with my online games too. But there is a lack of human connection with online games. Definitely. So more human connection in person, less human connection online, but look at how many people are playing online. Droves and droves and droves and droves. And even somebody who has the option of playing in person, you know, and versus playing online, like, I don't mind playing online. And if for some reason my in-person group that plays right here, if we had to transition back to online, I would be okay with that. You know, because I have learned that there are definite advantages to playing online, such as just being able to talk and not have side conversations distracting everybody. Like, I hate side conversations. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves playing in person are the side conversations and people talking over each other and stuff, which online is a lot better. It's a lot harder to do that, almost impossible. So anyway, let's keep going.
Making music for over 30,000 years. That's the rough age of the oldest instruments scientists have been able to date. But for sure, we must have been drumming on stuff and vocalizing for much longer than that. So for essentially all of human history, certainly all of recorded human history, every single person would sing, play an instrument or two, and dance around. Didn't matter if you were any good at it, that's just what people did, no matter their age or their status or their culture. It is universal. We humans connect over music. But then, about 100 years ago, negligible amount of time really, the way we connect over music drastically changed. Thanks to radio and records, the best musician in your family or your town or even your country was now competing for time with the most talented musicians in the world, even transcending into the past. And relatively suddenly, human culture shifted. We went from everyone being an amateur musician to maybe 1 or 2 people per family. And even then, is your family gathering around to hear your older brother play Wonderwall on the guitar?
I'm probably blowing people's minds right now because, like, probably half of you already listen to all videos at 1.5 speed. And so now I just turned him up to 1.5 speed, which makes this even faster for you. So you're probably like, whoa, what's going on? Ah!
Or does mom put on your family's favorite album and you all dance around? I doubt it. Outside of occasionally going to concerts or school music clubs or maybe going out dancing for the night, the way most of us enjoy music most of the time has become a very personal activity thanks to the unimaginable selection and affordable devices ever since the Walkman and headphones. Now, I think being a DM of professional quality has a much lower bar than being a musician of professional quality. But if the AI DM can mimic the most talented DMs in the world, I think a lot of people are going to prefer that option. So more people will play solo, fewer people will learn to DM, and role-playing could easily become a more personal activity over time, just like music. However,
Yeah, especially right now, like, one of the big impediments to actually playing is finding a game master, you know, getting somebody who can actually run the game. So if you can get rid of that impediment, then more people, and then people can play the game. Like, yeah, I mean, 'cause imagine this, you still have 4 or 5 players that are playing the game, but there's the game master is AI, right? And so there's still human connection. The players are real humans, until they're not. And then the game master's running the game, because like if there's no game master, there's no game. So if you can slot AI in to fulfill that role, then people who can't find groups all of a sudden can play the game.
However, just like with...
And if they have really annoying habits and nobody wants to play with them, like they're eating with their mouth open and they don't close their mouth so you can see their food as they're chewing it, and the crunching and stuff is all louder and it's like falling out and it's all really gross and stuff, and nobody wants to play with them because they never figured out how to close their mouths when they chew their food, and nobody wants to play with them. Well, they can play in games now because they don't need friends, to play in the games with them. If you're a person that does that and I insulted you, I apologize, but please learn to close your mouth when you chew your food.
With music, this does not mean the traditional way to play D&D goes extinct. More likely, these new ways will appeal to new people who otherwise would never have tried D&D, and it'll grow the number of people who play role-playing games as that definition expands to accommodate.
I agree. It'll reach new people who have never played it before. 100% agree. That's probably it'll do that, and people who played it the old way some of them will transition to the new way too. Ooh, my alarm. It is apparently 9 o'clock. Sorry, Bob.
Them.
Proceed.
But the second example I promised is crucial. Food. Humans have obviously always connected over food, even longer than music.
All right, we're going to skip over this example.
Prepare your every meal. Wouldn't you do it? And this is precisely why the AI Dungeon Master will probably not get very far. The YouTube stuff, the session recap stuff, and the DM chatbot assistant, that all feels likely to me. But the video DM...
It already exists. To be clear, it already exists except for the mechanical integration.
Even though it will exist, is probably going to be a luxury activity, like a private chef, not like a CD player. It'll be much more expensive to develop, and since every AI project seems to be way more about clawing away the user's money than providing a valuable service to society, that...
I disagree with that. That's not it at all. Like, you can make very, very, very strong arguments that these services are extremely valuable. They increase productivity. They help you to do more with less of your time, and they help you to do research, and there is a lot of value being delivered by these, and they're not clawing away my money. My subscription price for my AI I use is very low right now. It's not clawing away my money, and it is providing like way more value than what I pay for it. So I definitely disagree with that. Now, do these AI companies want to make money? Of course, that's what they're doing. But this is like a big, huge misconception, I think, about greedy businesses. Okay, they just want to claw your money away. This is the fact. If a business does not offer a service that you find valuable, you're not going to pay them. Period. End of story. And that business will go out of business. So the business has to offer a service or a product that you find valuable enough to give them your money. There must be an equitable exchange of value, at least in your mind, for you to hand over your money. And so every business who wants to succeed, if all they think about is clawing your money away and not giving you something of equal, at least in your mind, in exchange, that business will fail. This is the way businesses work. It's an equitable exchange of value. Now, you might argue whether it's actually equitable or not, and that's fair. But in the consumer's mind, it is equitable because they are paying it. They are paying the price for it. And there's always an exchange of equity, right? The service, the product for the money, okay? So companies don't claw your money away. Companies try to design a service or a product that delivers something of value so that consumers will willingly give their money for that thing, okay? And that's the way business works at a fundamental level. So this idea of companies just being big greedy monsters who only want to take is horse crap.
Monthly subscription.
And I don't know if Bob believes that or not. I was just kind of reacting to that statement. So just in all fairness, I don't know what his beliefs are.
Cost to have Robo Mercer on your TV is going to be too expensive for the majority of D&D groups to justify when, hey, Dave is a pretty great DM and we only have to pay him in snacks. This could create competition for professional...
I think I disagree. I think that it's going to be really like the tech isn't there yet, but it's getting very close there. And here's the thing. Initially, when the AI DM comes out, it will be expensive. Yes, it will be expensive. But this is the way technology works. This is the way technology has always worked. When it is first introduced, it is expensive. When computers first came out, expensive. And they were very bad and slow compared to our standards today. And they were all, and like they used a lot more energy too, right? And so the same thing with AI, right? AI is coming out now, right? And it's not as good as it will be a year from now, 5 years from now. AI Dungeon Masters, when they come out, won't be that good. And then they'll get better and better. And the prices always come down. When refrigerators were first introduced, when cameras were first introduced, name any product, name any service, when it's first introduced, because of its novelty and because of the scarceness of it and because of the high production cost to produce that thing, it costs a lot of money. But as there's refinement and iteration and there's more companies doing it and there's competition, those prices come down over time. The refrigerators don't cost anything near what they cost back in the day when you account for inflation and the change in price value and all that kind of stuff. So technology always comes down in value. It always, the amount of energy it uses gets better, and it becomes more affordable. And so this is like initially, yes, AI Dungeon Masters will be expensive and very few people will afford them and they won't be that good, but eventually they will get much, much better and then they will become much more affordable as more companies are doing it and there's more competition and stuff. Okay, and now it is 9:05 because I apparently did not dismiss my alarm. So I see what he's saying. I disagree. I think it's going to become a thing and it's going to become a thing faster than we all think.
Human DMs, but if that happens, I still think it's a long way off. And this other interview quote from Hasbro CEO unintentionally spells that out. He hails AI as, quote, a great leveler for user-generated content, end quote, raising the floor for DMs everywhere, but presumably lowering the ceiling for originality and connection and fun. Huge thanks.
I don't know if it lowers the floor for originality. All right. Connection, yes. Fun, it's yet to be seen. It's really yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen. So I don't know if I agree with all those final thoughts. And that's his video. That's all he's got there. So go back to my full camera. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on AI. I don't have a whole lot left to say. So if you stuck it through, I think we're coming on close to an hour video, then you are amazing. Let me know in the comments if you got through this entire video. I appreciate you listening to Bob and I have our little conversation back and forth. Yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Have a good day, guys.